Hello. Hi.
I'm almost.
Oh, well, until you do, animals are subjected to abuse. Just bear that in mind.
I haven't eaten red meat since college.
That's fantastic. Just another step forward. Can I give you a card? Awesome. There's 2 documentaries. There's Dominion and The Most Important Speech. It's just a speech. Both really great information, though. There's also Challenge 22. If you have any nutrition questions, they actually have a free nutritionist you can talk to.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
I just gotta convince my
Oh,
husband.
yeah. Well, have them watch those with you. It's convincing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have a great day.
What's your name?
Anna.
Nice to meet you.
What's your
I'm
name?
Julian.
Julian. Nice to meet you. You want to talk to me?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. All right. Well, first, tell me, what do you think about animals?
I think they're pretty yummy, and also they're nice. I have a dog, they're just nice to have, and a cat, and I think they're cool, but I also think animals are meant for food sometimes, and I can see vegans' ideas too.
Okay. So tell me, what do you think about animal abuse, and what do you think animal abuse is?
I think animal abuse is factory farming,
Okay.
if I'm being honest, but I don't know if people should be going to factory farms and like stealing chickens and stuff like that. I think maybe the government could get involved with factory farming, but I think the answer is mainly more ranches, or not more ranches, but more farms that are like small little farms that are free range.
You want to have
Yeah.
more room and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. So my question then is, do you think that animals can feel pain?
I think that they have kind of a consciousness, like in some way. I was on a farm for a while, and I had 3 cows, and every time I'd go mow, they would want the grass, because I'd give it to them.
Okay.
And so I think that they feel pain maybe in a different way, because we can't really 100% know if they feel pain,
If I told you that it has been discovered that they are sentient and do feel pain, would that change your mind on that?
I mean, yeah, if it's been discovered, yeah, but I think that since the beginning of time that animals have been killed and eaten, so it's like,
Sure.
yeah.
I would say possibly, just because we did things in the past doesn't mean it's moral, right? We did a lot of immoral things in our past, like we didn't have rights for women, and there was even slavery.
Yeah.
So, and we changed that, right? Because it was wrong, even though we did it for a long time. I would say, for as far as animals feeling pain, like if I was here to start kicking a dog, would you stop me?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. And that's because you know that they're feeling the pain, right?
Yeah.
They make noise and they move. So they found that cows and dogs are very similar. So do you think that sending those animals, like cows, pigs, and chickens, to the slaughterhouse, do you think that's also, abuse? Since you don't want me kicking a dog, I would imagine you would think that me stabbing him in the neck is more abusive.
I mean, I think that cows are like a little bit, how do I say this? They're like less charming. Like dogs, I feel like they have more of a personality. But cows, I think they're just here to like eat, and then like they don't live for a long time, like they only live for maybe 15 years or something.
Oh, they can live to be 20.
Okay. So,
Same thing with dogs, though. Dogs don't live very long either.
20, but I mean, some people actually eat dogs too.
They do. And what do you think of that?
I mean, I'm not against it. I'm not here to.
If I had a dog right here to eat, would you want to eat him?
I mean, I don't really care. I mean, I'm down for eating dogs.
So if I had a dog here and I was about to cut his throat, would you stop me, or would you be like, I'm ready for the barbecue?
I mean, I wouldn't do it in public.
Why not?
Well, because it's kind of disgusting.
Why is it disgusting if it's food?
Well, I mean.
So when we cut a carrot, do you feel disgusted?
No, not
When
really.
we pick an apple, do you feel gross?
Not really.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason why families don't go to a slaughterhouse to pick up their chicken and watch the whole process. There's a reason why they go berry picking or apple picking or something. Okay, so I would ask then, what if you were the victim? What if you were in their situation? Would you want your oppressors to stop?
I mean, if I'm only gonna live to 20.
Yeah. You want to be killed at a fraction of your life?
Not a fraction. I mean,
Most dairy cows are killed at 6, and a lot of beef cows are killed at like 6 months,
I mean,
maybe 2 years.
we killed our cows at like 12.
12?
Yeah, so they still had a lot of time just to live for a cow's life, you know?
Did you only drink the milk and then eat the flesh of those cows, or did you also go to McDonald's and restaurants and grocery stores?
I mean, I don't go to like fast food that often, and I don't agree like just with factory farming and all that. But wait, what was your question again?
I'm sorry. My question was, even though you did apparently take really good care of these cows,
Yeah.
do you still consume flesh and secretions at like restaurants or at grocery stores at your friend's house?
Yeah, I consume them at restaurants, yeah.
So wouldn't you say that even though you took really good care of those cows, you were still demanding that other animals be forced through systems that they're killed at a fraction of their lifespan, they don't live in very good conditions?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not for factory farming. I think they should be living till like 12 and then they should be eaten.
Do you think it's moral, let's say you gave them the best life you ever could,
Yeah.
do you think it's still moral to take someone's life when they want to live?
I mean, if they're going to die in like 5 years. Yeah.
If you were going to die, after a couple of years, would you want to be put down early, or would you want to live as long as you could?
If I'm going to be contributing to the community, like by being eaten.
You would accept someone turning you upside down and cutting your throat?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I think you're being a little disingenuous when I need some water. My mouth is
Okay,
so dry. So you're telling me that you wouldn't defend yourself if someone was attacking you for food?
I mean, probably not. I mean, if it's like I'm going to die in like.
How about your friend? How about your friend is about to be attacked? Are you okay with that?
I mean, would you be fine with it?
Depends by who.
Anybody. They just want a snack on you, just for fun. Yeah.
Oh.
But you're only going to live for 5 more
But it's
years.
not even his choice. It's do you feel comfortable with that? Do you feel comfortable with your friend being attacked just because someone wants sensory pleasure?
It's really, I mean,
He can't consent. It's just going to happen to him either way. How would you feel about it?
How would you feel if I get
I wouldn't be against it if he's contributing to the community. You know, like if he has, I'm talking just like 5 years to live, you know,
Why don't we eat our grandparents when they pass away?
because they're human and they're like us. And also some tribes.
But they would be
in-
contributing to society.
some tribes in Africa and stuff like that. They'll cannibalize sometimes, and in South America too.
Why don't you?
Well, because I don't know. I mean,
Why don't you want to be harmed?
me
Yeah.
in general.
Just in general.
Why don't I want to be harmed?
Is it because you feel pain and you're living an experience and you want to live?
Yeah, and also because I live for a long time, you know?
Oh, I know people that they're not going to live very long and they
Yeah.
still want to live. I don't think anybody wants to just, unless they're in severe pain or suffering, right?
Right.
Most people want to continue to live. It's actually not very common for people to want to end their lives for no reason, even if they're just going to live a short life. So I would reconsider that
Yeah.
possibly, just because, you can contribute to society better by being around, of course.
But I mean, if I'm just gonna die and I'm kind of elderly, I'm not contributing at all. Like this is what kind of the
I mean, we don't have our elders sacrifice themselves because they want to live, right?
Right.
Even though it's not very long for them until they're gonna go.
Yeah.
We don't do that to them because it's immoral. We know that they feel pain. We know that they want to live, and even if it benefits us, we shouldn't harm others. It's immoral.
I mean, it's really. I mean, okay. So I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Go ahead.
My mind is kind of blank.
I did, yeah, and I kind of just preached at you.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, would you, if someone did cook up their grandma, would you eat it?
It really depends.
What?
If the grandma if that was the only thing I could eat at that point, and the grandma,
survival is definitely one thing. Yes.
yeah, and it's the grandma wanted to be eaten, like
So
contributed.
consent is important.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
The animals cannot consent. Does that change your mind?
no, because we have no other food source besides like plants and berries and stuff like that.
What is it you think you can't get from plants that you can only get from animals?
Protein.
Oh, actually, all plants have protein. Yeah, and in fact, there are lots of foods like beans, tofu, tempeh, trying to think about seitan. All these are very protein dense. There's
Yeah.
even vegan protein powders that you could take if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Nuts are high in protein. But literally, if you eat the right amount of calories, about 2,000 is the average.
Okay,
You'll get enough protein for sure.
Yeah.
I do have a resource for you though that can actually show you that you can get everything you need.
Yeah.
Would you want a card?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take
Okay.
one.
It also has a documentary called Dominion on there,
Okay.
and it'll show you the why to not consume animals' flesh and their secretions. You know, those animals, even if they're given the best life, when they're brought into that slaughterhouse, they meet the same end as the factory farm animals.
Yeah.
So do you know what happens to animals when they enter the slaughterhouse?
They die?
Yeah, but do you know how they're killed?
They...
They are put in, like cows are put in a machine, they spin them around. That's
Or-
how I saw it documented.
So the most common way is they'll put them in what's called a knock box, so it's really tight quarters so they can't turn around.
Yeah.
And then they'll usually stun them with a bolt gun, which is a little thing that kind of hits their brain so that they go a little unconscious. When they fall out of the knock box, they hang them by one foot upside down. And then they take a knife and they cut their throat and let them drain. And their heart has to be pumping to get their blood out. And a lot of them actually come out of their stun while this is happening.
Yeah.
And this happens not just to cows, this happens to pigs. Chickens go through something similar. They're hung upside down, have to be dragged through an electrical bath so that they're stunned. Some of them lift their heads above this bath though, so they meet the blade fully conscious. They're coming up to two blades that spin and kind of catch their head and pull it off.
Yeah.
So that's how animals are, how they're taken down. And they do feel pain, they do suffer, and many of them do feel the full brunt of all of that. So does that change your mind on what animals kind of go through and how willing you are to pay for them?
I mean, I can see your point of view, too, and I understand.
Is your taste pleasure worth those animals going through all of that?
I mean, if they've lived a happy life, then
Would you be willing to go through that process?
would I? I mean, if I lived a happy life and I was ready
You are
to
living
die,
a happy life right now.
yeah.
So let's say we go right now to the slaughterhouse. You ready?
Well, I'm still young.
So are they.
They're like 13.
A quarter of their lifespan.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about like just the,
Veal are killed shortly after their birth.
Okay. I mean,
So I guess what I'm hearing is
Yeah.
a lot of excuses to not go to the slaughterhouse means you want to live, right? The animals want to live just as much.
Yeah.
And I'm just asking people to consider that with their choices,
Yeah.
They do feel pain, they're very sentient, and they just want to live.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to not give you the card though, here you go. So like I said, if you watch that documentary, The Dominion, it'll show you that, the animals are very sentient and they're
Yeah.
aware of what's going on.
and also
But-
I think hunting is a good thing too, because have you like do you like hunting? Or are you like
I'm against hunting because,
Okay.
again, those creatures are out there living their life, and I think it's wrong to take someone's life away for sensory pleasure.
Yeah.
I understand that people are worried about their population, but there are other methods that we can go about.
Yeah.
There's actually companies that will do birth control so that the deer can't populate.
But how do they do birth control?
Same way, they can either shoot them with a gun far away, or they can knock them out and they approach them and then give them the birth control, or they can put it in pellets to feed the deer.
Isn't that bad though?
How is it bad?
Well, I mean, you're killing that animal.
Oh no, they're not killing it. It's birth control.
Wait.
So the deer won't have babies. They'll have contraception.
Yeah.
So they won't be able to get pregnant.
Do you want to get pregnant?
No, they cannot get pregnant.
So,
they will
like,
not get
okay,
pregnant. No
okay.
baby. Yeah.
I
So
mean-
then they won't make more deer. So then the deer will thin out naturally.
I think that is almost immoral in some way, because
How is it immoral to stop them from having babies versus taking their life?
I mean, stopping them from having babies, like, I think almost, I don't know, I can't speak for all women, but I think some women actually want to have babies, and they want to have,
I think people want to live more than they want to have babies, though, right? Like, you have to be alive to have a baby.
I think my mom would risk her life to, like, she
Right,
would,
but she would still want to live, right? Even if she risked her life, she would still want to live.
yeah, but I mean, if she's at the end of her life and she's,
I don't know if you've actually thought about this.
Yeah.
You keep turning towards people just giving up their life, and I don't think you understand that people want to live. Nobody is just like, oh, I'll just give up and fall over. Most of our movies are about people being in a weird position about to die, and they fight for their life and win, right?
Right.
So, like, why would you think that people wouldn't fight for their life?
well, I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't fight for their life. I'm saying that they're at the end of their life and they want I shouldn't say want, but like they're contributing to the community. And have you researched the Mayans and like I'm at the Aztecs, and the old people actually wanted to be sacrificed to be.
I would encourage you to go interview 5 elderly people. I want you to ask them if they'd be willing to end their life right now. Just jump on those rocks right now. And I want you to come back and tell me how many of them say they'll do it.
Well, I mean, if they're contributing to the community, then
Yeah, okay, so once they jump down there, we'll eat their bodies.
Okay. I don't know. I'll ask my grandpa, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I challenge you to do that because I guarantee they're not going to say, I'll end my life right now. They're going to say, I want to keep living. Yeah.
But they have like 20 more years to live at least.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think of my great grandpa. He just died. If he was at the end of his life, and he was a World War II vet, and so I think if he had the choice to contribute to his community before he died, I think he would have done that.
You think he would have died in his early 20s?
I mean, he could have.
Why did he keep living then?
Well, I mean, just because he's still.
But why not just go be like, hey, find a homeless person, be like, hey, I know you're hungry, I'm gonna go kill myself and you can eat me. Why didn't he do that?
Well, because they're too young. They're still young.
But animals are killed at a quarter of their lifespan, is what I was telling you, right? And that means a human, if they can live to be 100, let's say, that's in their 20s.
Yeah.
Or if they're in their 80s, it's in their teens,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so.
What? Oh, okay. I'm so sorry, but
You're fine.
is it okay if I leave?
Yes,
Okay.
I definitely press you to
that card?
watch those.
Yeah.
And talk to your grandpa. I'm sure he'll set you straight a little bit
And
because
thank
I guarantee they want to live.
Thank you for this.
Yes, absolutely. You have a great day,
You
and
too.
go vegan if you can. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.